All right, today we're diving into something that's truly changing the game, how the very building blocks of our digital world get made. We're going to look at a platform that promises to shrink chip design from months of painstaking work down to just a few minutes of conversation with an AI. Let's see how they're pulling it off.
So to really get why this matters, you have to understand the sheer scale we're talking about here. The semiconductor market, it's a $600 billion industry. This is the bedrock for everything. Your phone, the cloud, self-driving cars, you name it. But here's the crazy part. At the very core of this hyper-modern industry, there's a process that's been called, and I quote, stuck in the Stone Age. Now that's not just a catchy phrase. It points to a massive, critical problem right at the most important stage of designing a chip. So it really comes down to this. On one hand, you have the old way, a slow, totally manual process that takes months of research and is filled with the risk of very expensive mistakes. And on the other hand, you have this new AI-native approach that's lightning fast, automated, and lets you explore all your options with real data. And that gets us to the heart of the issue, what we're calling the $600 billion bottleneck. See, the most critical decisions in chip design, the ones that lock in millions of dollars in costs down the line, are being made with shockingly little information. Okay, this slide really breaks down the pain points of the old way. Think about designing a complex system on a chip, an SoC. Engineers literally spend months doing manual research. Because it takes so long, they can really only explore one, maybe two different designs. And if you make a mistake here, a single slip-up can easily cost $5 to $10 million to fix later. It's forcing these brilliant teams to make huge, high-stakes bets instead of smart, informed decisions. So what's the answer to this massive bottleneck? Well, it's a new solution called SoC Pilot, and people are calling it the ChatGPT for chip architecture, which is actually a perfect way to think about what it does. And here's the bottom line. SoC Pilot is the first AI-native platform built to completely overhaul this workflow. It takes that process that used to take months, that high-risk, high-stress process, and boils it down to a simple, powerful conversation with an AI. So how does it actually do all this? Well, it has a few core tricks up its sleeve. First, you just talk to it, using a conversational interface to lay out what you need. Then, its AI explores a massive range of possible designs automatically. It generates the entire architecture, no code required, and it's constantly checking and validating the design in real time to catch any problems before they start.
Okay, so what does this actually look like for an engineer? Let's walk through the journey from just an idea in your head all the way to having a complete production-ready design package in your hands.
It's actually a super simple four-step process. First, you just converse. You use plain English to tell the AI what you're trying to build. Second, it generates everything for you, all the detailed specs, the diagrams, the works. Third, you validate it, running checks and analysis right then and there. And finally, you deliver. You just download the whole design package, ready to go. You know, when you put all this together, it really does mark a new era in design. But what does that really mean in terms of results? Let's quantify the impact of going AI native. And wow, this chart just says it all, doesn't it? With the traditional method, a team might get to explore two different design options if they're lucky. With SoC Pilot, they can generate and compare 10 or more. We're talking about a 5-fold or even greater increase in their ability to find the absolute best design. That is a massive leap forward. And this isn't just a win for the design team. The benefits ripple out to everyone. For customers, it means better, more powerful products hit the market way faster. For cloud partners like AWS, it's a huge showcase for how AI can transform an entire industry. And for the market itself, it's creating a whole new category of design tools. It's a win-win-win. And that's really the big takeaway here. This is the fundamental shift. We're moving away from making these giant, high-stakes bets based on a hunch and moving toward making smart, data-driven strategic decisions because you've actually explored the possibilities. So, this all leaves us with a pretty massive question, right? We've just seen how AI can completely reinvent the foundation of all modern computing. It makes you wonder, what other huge foundational industries are next?